All right, Mount Rudmore here, and I am back with another BB25 stream. And I mean, this is another case of haven't done it in a couple days. And I'll be honest, after what happened last night, I didn't think I'd be doing too many this week, especially after the first couple things I heard. But this game has the game has changed completely at this point. But I do have a few days worth of stuff to get through. Uh, First thing I want to talk about is the famous Waffle Wednesday. Always on Big Brother on Wednesday they start waffling, but this year they waffle every day. But surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of waffling on Waffle Wednesday. After such a draining few days, it was really refreshing. But I'm just like, you know what? I get there's some talks going around. Jag's not going to stay. It's just not going to happen. Jag is going to do something to get himself out the door. To talk his way out the door, I mean. Um, Corey in America. Last time I streamed, they were a little kind of, things weren't so great. But later on Wednesday, they made peace. They were back enjoying each other's company. We're hanging out. We're talking game, which included that they don't trust Jag anymore. I wasn't sure that this meant they will vote him out. Really, I wasn't sure. I was thinking, they could um, possibly not vote to evict him. I still thought Jag would leave, but then I was thinking, maybe they won't want to risk their own spot. Corey does mention that he thinks that Matt is throwing America under the bus to Jag, which is why Jag has been so weird with them lately. And yeah, Corey, you are correct. Matt's been on his weird misogyny tear lately. To be clear, I don't think Jag is outright misogynistic in his stance on America right now. I think he just doesn't trust her. I don't believe that it's because she's a woman. Matt, I believe it. Jared, I very much believe it. But yeah, I think Jag just doesn't trust America gameplay wise. And I mean, the problem I have with that is that America has been very honest with him, and he's just been too dumb to see it. Matt tells Jag about his 6-4 vote idea to frame Corey in America. Jag naturally is uncomfortable with this because that's a little too close. But he decides to meet him in the middle. Like, okay, what if we just do 7-3 and we just blame it on America? And Matt's like, yeah, sure. But Jared later just shoots this down entirely. So now that's kind of up in the air. Huh. So we got more of Jared being stupid, if you can believe it. He never stops being stupid. Corey's talking about how, oh, it's so awesome. I'm on national TV at age 21. And Jared's like, yeah, I was on national TV at 18. And Corey's like, what do you mean? Where? On what? And Jared's like, um, I was on Big Brother. You were? They let 18-year-olds on Big Brother and no one told me or Corey the superfan? He's such an egotistical moron. Even without the ableism, he's a moron. Like, his backpedaling was not good, but somehow he gets away with it. It's what he does. He just somehow gets away with being a complete idiot. And it drives me insane. Um, and Izzy and Matt start pitching some stuff to Suri about the vote. Izzy suggests, hey, let's just be honest about what's going to happen. Matt's like, hey, let's split it 7-3 so we can blame America. And Suri just shoots both of them down. Like, no, we're not doing this. Um, Red warns Mimi that certain people, i.e., Jared, are saying her name. She slips up by saying that Jag would be next to go, and she's saying this to Red. Was like, but Jag will be gone though. So it was really kind of around this time I'm starting to think, okay, maybe they are actually going to take out Red. Um, Mimi goes to Suri and Izzy about this, and Izzy's like, oh, Red's just making stuff up because he's on the block. He'll say anything. And we get a triple B meeting. Haven't had one of those in a while. Um, Bowie puts it together, and of course, it's very quick and very awkward. And the way the rest of them, quick reminder, triple B is Bowie, Suri, Felicia, Izzy, and Mimi. And the way they're talking is is just sort of like, well, Red ain't gonna be here anymore. But Bowie does not realize that the plan is Red. You'd think Bowie would have caught on to this, but nobody in this house catches on to anything. Like, these people aren't fishing with fishing nets. They're just like just the hoops. Like, you ever see like a basketball hoop with no net on it? Yeah, that's what they're trying to do to catch. That's what they're trying to use to catch fish in this house. Nobody is able to figure out this kind of thing. They can't catch on. And we get to Thursday, and this is where the mess starts to get underway. Mimi is talking about flipping the votes to keep Red because she thinks that Jag is getting too close with Matt, which he kind of is. She tells this to Felicia, and Felicia's really very open to this. Suri and Izzy, on the other hand, are not. But Suri and Izzy are not phased. They're just like, we'll have the votes anyway. It would end up being 6-4 in this case, so Matt would get what he wanted. And Suri and Izzy go to Red, and they're like, oh god, it's so annoying. Can you believe Mimi and Felicia are trying to flip and just cause all this chaos? And Red doesn't like it. It's like, oh, that's sillier than than a lollipop on Neptune or whatever stupid bumpkin crap he says. But he does not realize that Mimi and Felicia are trying to flip the vote to save him. He's mad at them for trying to flip the vote, completely unaware of which direction they're flipping it. He's so clueless. It's like, how? How is everyone? I mean, okay, I guess they were really trying to leave him out of it and leave out Bowie and Cameron. But, I mean, honestly, I think this speaks more to how quick Suri is to get ahead of things. Red tells Bowie that if he wins HOH, he's gonna put Felicia up. He later says that he won't be bitter if he goes out, but both Bowie and Cameron are like, well, we will. And I'm just thinking, one of you had better win HOH then. I did kind of get the impression that maybe Red is going to torch Felicia on his way out the door. Like his last words are going to be, "Don't trust Felicia. She's about as trustworthy as a jackhammer on a trampoline." That that one at least made more sense than the lollipop on Neptune thing. I just put words together because honestly, that's what do you want from me? I'm from the North. I was on the winning side of the Civil War, so I don't really understand all these bumpkinisms as I call them. I say that like my ancestors were here. They weren't. They didn't they didn't come to America. Both sides of my family, neither one was here until like the 1900s, the early 1900s. Anyway, we have the eviction episode, and ultimately, this is honestly what I was starting to think could happen. I was thinking like if Red does go, I think it'll just be 8-2. That being said, I did not discount the possibility of Jag saying something stupid and getting himself sent out the door. I mean, the feeds went down a couple hours before the show. I'm thinking that's plenty of time for Jag to shove his foot all the way in his mouth. But no, it's 8-2. Red is evicted. Cameron and Bowie are shocked. Red does not torch anybody on his way out the door. He goes out peacefully. He's like, "Oh, that's awesome!" when he finds out that Suri and Jared are father and son. Like, nobody's been upset about this so far. In fact, the only one to even have a reaction really was Riley. Actually, I feel like Heisem might have done his big booming laugh. I don't really remember. I remember Riley's shocked face. But yes, Red is evicted. 8-2. Cameron and Bowie were left out. Cameron is just standing there looking all upset, like he's just standing there looking like hipster Yellowstone Robin Williams from Good Will Hunting. And Bowie just storms off to her room and like goes into her bag and is like, "Okay, time to win." With her big smile that I can't do. My mouth does not open enough to smile like Bowie does. Then we get the HOH competition. And I saw it. I'm like, okay, good old fashioned quiz. Probably like could have been like an A B C type of thing, or maybe a true or false thing. It was a true or false thing. Like it's a classic, and I'm just like, I'm so happy we get a live HOH competition. There is nothing that could possibly be bad about this, getting our first live HOH competition of the season, even though it's week 6. Surely, this is going to be such a relief to see. It's going to be so great seeing a live HOH again. And what is this competition? Probably the most embarrassing thing in Big Brother history. It's clips of the house guests with CGI farts added added to the clips, and then they're being quizzed on the farts. Like, true or false, it was this color. True or false, there were this many of that color. And I would like to say that I got every question right until the game ended. Like every question that was asked, I got them all right. So at the very least, I would have kept the winner of the game in another round. But I was honestly pretty amazed that I was able to pay attention to it because I was just absolutely blown away at what I was seeing. I'm like this I'm trying to have more people in my life that I talk to about this show. And here are 11 adults being quizzed on animated fart clouds. Anyway, in the end, the last three standing were Izzy, Corey, and Cameron. And Cameron wins. And the silence was deafening. He's like, all right, fine, I'll celebrate for myself. I don't know. I feel like I kind of started as red and then it just kind of meandered onto something completely different. But yeah, that was my Cameron impression. I mean, I do not like the guy in the slightest. But the fact of the matter is, he has won his spot in the House for 3 straight weeks. HOH, then he won the veto, and now he's won another HOH. First two-time HOH of the season, and it's only week 6. I'm trying to remember the last time someone had been HOH twice before jury. I mean, granted, it's a little different this year because it's an extra week of pre-jury. Still, it's weird. And you could see the look of concern on everybody's faces, except for Bowie. Other than Bowie, nobody trusts Cam. Mostly because nobody likes Cam. And rightfully so. He's a creep. My initial gut reaction was that he's going for America. He's had this weird fixation on her, and I feel like he's going to get it in his head that he's just not able to have her or something. So that's what I was thinking. But I'm thinking in a perfect world, he would target Jared for having just put him up and taking out his closest ally in the game, Red. And also, I later learned that Corey threw the HOH competition. Apparently. Like, I. First of all, I'm not sure if this is true. I mean, apparently it is. But if it is, Corey, why? What are you thinking? You can't be doing it too much longer, dude. It's time to start winning something. Personally, I would not start throwing stuff in the house until I had won something. Show people that you can play and you can win, but you don't want them to see you as a threat. I would only throw the week 2 and week 5 HOHs because those people have never gone on to win the game. Other than that, I'm going to be trying to win. But um, in the time before the feats came back, of course, I'm thinking various things certain people can do, and one that I really thought would be a doozy would be if Corey were to steer Cameron towards the core trio of the house. Sari, Felicia, Izzy. Put 2 of them up. Use the other one as a backup if need be. That way, he would take one out. The other two, and probably plenty of other people in the house, will be very upset. And therefore, they'll be more firmly against Cameron. And where does that place Corey? Just sitting back and relaxing. His dirty work being done for him. So that's what I was hoping for from Corey. Now, I don't know if that was any sort of discussion because the feeds didn't come back for a while. But when they did come back, very quickly, Cameron was saying, Jag has to go. And I'm just like, dude, you saw that no one was happy that you won. You should know that nobody's on your side. So the least you can do is try and flip the script a little bit. Figure out who's running the show, because it's not exactly a secret. He's even talked about it in the past. So all you want to do is take out Jag? Like, the one person that you know did not want Red, well, did not vote Red out. Of course, Jag wanted Red out, but that's because he was sitting next to him. But Cameron seems to think that the people who are running the show aren't very good at competitions. Jag, on the other hand, is good at competitions, so I need him out of here. Thing is, Jag is someone that Cameron probably could, I don't want to say control, but like win over. And it's also becoming clear that he wants Blue to go up next to him. So it's like he just wants to redo his first week, his first HOH. Matt and Sari agree to blame Felicia for everything going wrong. And Sari tells him to work with Jared to keep her off the block. Sari just covering all her bases. Like, make sure Felicia's a bigger target than me because we haven't been getting along as well lately. So, obviously, that means she has to go. Oh, it's brutal. It is brutal. Jared is like, I knew Cameron was going to win. He was the most determined. Not that you were determined, Izzy, but he was more determined. I knew he was going to win. He always does this. Always. Every single time I do one of these streams, I get worked up into a lather about Jared's ego. He knows everything. Everything that's ever happened or is going to happen. Stop. Please. Oh, Karen, please just target Jared. He just put you up. It makes perfect sense. He took out your best friend. It makes more sense. America talks to Jag, which, as we know by now, has fallen on deaf ears a million times, but America is still giving it the old college try. She tells Jag that he needs to start spilling some of his information to Cameron. Like, your own alliance was willing to let you go. You were the original target this week. They all voted you out last week. And Jag's like, I don't know if it'll work. Try it anyway, Jag. Because what you've been doing, it hasn't been good enough. It hasn't been good. Period. Please, for the love of God, Jag, just try. Try to be a good player. And I'm just like, Jag, you're killing me. I don't want Cameron to put you up because it would be such a stupid move for him to do that. But you're not. Helping yourself. It's so easy for you to help yourself, and you're doing nothing about it. Cameron has a conversation with Blue. As usual, he's being very weird and hard to read, talking in riddles. But as this conversation goes along, it was a long one apparently, she slowly comes to the realization that he's putting her up. And she's in tears begging to not be put up, and he's completely unfazed by it. But like as he's talking to her, he's just like he's hinting that he's got something else up his sleeve. But I'm just thinking, if you put one of Jag or Blue on the block, it doesn't matter what your plan is. If they're still on the block, they're going to leave over anybody that might be worth taking a shot at. Felicia and Mimi, they're pondering, how did Jag find out that we tried to flip the vote again? They suspect either Corey or Matt, but they agree it was probably Matt. I don't mean to shock you, but it was Suri. Mimi says that, I'm fine not knowing too much information. Why? Why are you fine with that? If you don't know what's going on, then how are you going to know the best move to make for your game? I mean, granted, you might not always be able to get all the information you need to make the best move, but it's just Mimi is just I I I thought she was starting to like get a little better socially, but I mean, I guess she probably still is, but now she's getting weaker strategically. It's like even in moments where Mimi has frustrated me, I've at least been like, "Oh, she's being strategic." How is it strategic to not want to know too much information? That's just not that's not wise to me. Serena and Izzy talk. They suspect that Jag and Blue are gonna go up, but either Izzy or Felicia are the backdoor plan. And they say that if it comes down to it, where Felicia's on the block next to Blue, they will vote Felicia out. Not over Jag, though. Felicia versus Jag, they're going to vote out Jag. So, yeah, it's a core trio already weakening under the pressure of the unknown that is Cameron's second HOH. Cameron tells Bowie that America is going to be the replacement nominee, but says that he doesn't really want to give her any more information. So once again, he's hinting he's got something else in mind. He talks to Jag, very cryptic. Again, but basically the gist of this conversation, at least what I got out of it, is I won't put you up if you keep this conversation between us. And tells him that when he leaves the room, He needs him to look convinced he's going on the block. And I I was just seeing people all day being like, "What is Cameron gonna do? Is he actually gonna do something?" But here's the thing: I didn't trust Cameron to do anything clever. I spent all afternoon naysaying and assuming nothing would come of the nominees. Like, it's just gonna be Jag and Blue. He's gonna have a flop HOH again. The power structure is going to remain intact. He's not gonna do anything special. And then he nominates Izzy and Felicia. I could not believe it. I still can't really believe it. For the first time, Cerise missed because she did have a conversation with him earlier where he was like, "Oh yeah, we're fine with each other." And I mean, he might be fine with her, but he has taken a shot at her power structure. So for the first time, Cerise missed. Didn't really succeed all that much. Cerise miss so far has been keeping herself and her closest allies out of trouble. And now Felicia and Izzy are up. I mean, granted, her relationship with Felicia has been getting more and more strained lately, but Izzy is still even more loyal to her than her own son. Although at this point, Matt is more loyal to Cerie than Jared is. But yeah, Cerie was able to. I don't want to say her mist failed. That's what I wrote in my notes, but I'm like, it didn't fail because she kept herself from being nominated. But two of her closest allies, and the two people that have really kind of been running the show with her for most of the season, are sitting on the block next to her, or sitting on the block. And if it stays the same, she's gonna have to vote one of them out. Izzy is probably Cameron's target, but pretty sure she would stay over Felicia. If he wants Izzy to go, then he needs to put Sari up. He needs to take Felicia down, or have Felicia taken down, and put Sari up in her place. Which, there are some hints that he may be being a little tricky. Um, Felicia is wondering why she's been nominated, but not Sari. And she's having a conversation with Cameron. And, of course, she has no idea that Sari already planted the seeds in the event of Felicia trying to throw her under the bus. Sari's like, no, no, I'm the bus driver here. But she has a conversation with Cameron, and she leaves, and then he's just like, BS. He's not buying anything. And, I mean, to be clear, I don't like Cameron. I still don't, even with the knowledge that he is about to possibly thwart a full-blown steamroll. I still don't like the guy. I respect this move he is making, but make no mistake, I do not like him. But the thing is, everybody lied to him. except Bowie. Everybody lied to him, so he lied to everybody all day. And I gotta say, if I found myself at the bottom of the house and knew I was at the bottom of the house, and then I won power, yeah, I would probably try and flip the table myself. Like, oh, I'm not gonna win this chess game, so I'm just gonna flip the table that the chessboard is on. Yeah, now who wins? I may not win, but I can ruin your fun time. He tells Bowie not to trust Cerie, saying the week has just begun. And I'll honestly, I would enjoy his villain era if he hadn't basically been a villain this whole season in terms of just how uncomfortable he makes so many people in the house and watching the show. But the implication that a lot of people are getting from that is that Cerie is his actual target, which will not happen under any circumstances. Cerie going up is the only chance he has of getting Izzy out. Honestly, if Felicia doesn't win the veto, she is in serious trouble this week. There's a few people that would use it on Izzy. I don't know if anybody would use it on Felicia, except for maybe Cameron. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think he would want Cerie and Izzy on the block in the end if he were to win the veto. So it's it's insane in there right now. I did not think anything was gonna happen. I thought this was just gonna be a week of bad gameplay and fart jokes because that's what we're doing. It's the Humillaverse this week, and they all have to announce when they're going to the bathroom. And like literally over a megaphone. And then the nomination ceremony apparently was Cameron pieing people in the face that he wasn't nominating. So, like the two people that weren't pied in the face were the two nominees. And of course, I didn't even get into this, but everybody except for Cameron is a have-not this week. They're all on slop, taking turns in the have-not room. So that is definitely a factor that could lead to a lot of people spilling some information. And I'm thinking maybe this could get Izzy to reveal the secret to try and save herself. Yeah, about that. Izzy told Cerie that if she doesn't win the veto, I mean, if she does win the veto, she is not going to pull herself off the block because she knows Cerie would be the replacement. Well, she suspects Cerie would be the replacement. Nobody really knows what Cameron's up to, but nobody trusts him, so. And Izzy, are you seriously about to go from one of the most comfortable positions in the house to becoming Marcellus 2.0? For real? Listen, she probably would still stay over Felicia in that scenario, but I would not risk it. Cerie would definitely stay over Felicia. But if Izzy has the veto and doesn't use it, then what if some people are like, you didn't use the veto on yourself? Well, that's just stupid. Or you're way too well protected in this house and you feel too comfortable on the block, and then I should vote you out, which is something I could definitely see Corey and America doing. Maybe even Mimi, Jag and Blue, if they're talked into it. So yeah, I'm just like, Izzy, come on. Do not Marcellus yourself. Season 25. We've moved past not using the veto on yourself. Alright. That is all my notes. I'm gonna check online for any updates. This week, I gotta tell you, I thought it was going to be like the end of my time watching the season. And it's it's about to be a game changer. Whether we like it or not, it's a game changer. Nothing on my main timeline. Of course, my process is my main timeline, BB updates, although they haven't been very active today. Yeah, last tweet was 9 hours ago. And then go into the hashtag. BB25 hashtag. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is something I really want to talk about because I think it's more of this fandom being very stupid. Here's the thing. I don't think everyone in this fandom is stupid. Not by a long shot. In fact, I think most of us are pretty smart and we respect the way this game is supposed to work. But there is a very vocal group of idiots that are all of a sudden questioning America and her feelings about Cameron because she's happy with the move he made. Even going as far as to say he's a bad ASS. She's like, oh, that was so cool. So effing cool. Here's the thing Cameron did what she wanted to do. He did what Corey has been trying to talk her out of doing because it could backfire. Like, she might get away with it, but she'd probably just be the next person out the door. And America is a super fan of this game. She she respects a good move, a big move. This doesn't mean that all of a sudden she's in love with Cameron. Doesn't even mean she likes him now. Like, I don't understand how her being happy with the move suddenly means that she was lying about him making her uncomfortable. We saw him making her uncomfortable. We saw him saying weird stuff, and we saw her with very grossed out looks on her face. Yeah, he creeped her out. This doesn't even mean that she's not gonna try to take him out first chance she gets. She still might. Maybe she's just happy that he's doing the move she wanted to make, but she is going to get none of the blood on her hands. So just to be questioning her now, questioning if he actually was making her uncomfortable all this time when we could see it with our own eyes that he was, like, you're idiots if you think that. You're all idiots. All the people who think that, they are idiots. Like, I try not to dismiss an entire group of people, but if you're actually being this stupid about it, then yeah, I'm going to call you an idiot. America's playing the game. Cameron's playing the game. She respects the game move. And honestly, that's how I feel. I don't like Cameron at all. I I like Sari, Felicia, and Izzy more than him. by a hefty margin. That being said, things I do like are drama, chaos, unpredictability. Things I don't like, steamrolls, and Cameron, but and Jared, but and Matt. But anyway, my point is, Cameron saw that this season was going a certain kind of way. It was all kind of going how Suri wants it, and how Izzy and Felicia are really close to her. And I didn't believe it at first, but now I do believe that Suri might be his actual target. That being said, he ain't gonna get her. He's just not. It's not happening. The only way he's getting Izzy is if he puts Suri up. And of course, there is still always the possibility that Cameron will put up somebody else entirely. Like, maybe this is something I've been worried about for a while. Like, what if Jared and Matt get in good with him and they just start like growing out about how much they don't like women, and they're just like, oh yeah, we got to get America out of here. We don't trust her. She's shady. So like, I'm still not ruling that out. Really, it's all kind of up in the air until after the veto meeting. Then we can really narrow it down to who's going home. Or he could end up putting Jagger Blue on the block as the replacement, which would be stupid and a complete waste, but he might do it. Cameron has made a big move. Even if the most likely person to leave of that core three, Felicia, is the one to leave, that's still a pretty big move. The thing is, Cameron, like most people in this house, has proven that he's not that good at this game. He's kind of dumb sometimes. He made a good game move putting Izzy and Felicia on the block. But the question is, will he maintain this? I will say that America, I mean, she has been talking to Cameron a little more and telling him it was a good move. I think she even hugged him at one point. These are good steps for her to take to to make sure she has a solid enough relationship with him that if he does have to name a replacement nominee, it's not her. So that's another thing, people. Maybe America's just being nicer to him now because she doesn't want to be the replacement. He's shown that he's willing to do whatever he wants, regardless of how other people in the house are going to feel about it. So, what is to stop him from putting her up if he felt like it? And then there's always the possibility that Suri convinces him to target somebody that maybe he shouldn't target. Maybe Suri talks him into just putting up Jag. You know? I don't want to overestimate Cameron and I don't want to underestimate Suri. I just don't think I can at this point. But I am. I'm definitely interested to see who wins the veto tomorrow. Yeah, just let America be happy. Let her be happy. Listen, her and Corey have been wanting to. They've been talking about taking big shots. America wants to do it right away. Corey's like, we got to wait for the right moment. But now a big move has kind of fallen into their lap. I mean, it's not them making the move, but they'll be voting unless he decides to put one of them up. Um, but yeah, it's just America and Corey can really benefit from this move, and they have every right to be happy about that. Because at the end of the day, they're all there trying to win $750,000. Oh, Cameron is saying F all of Legend 25. Felicia, Cerie, Izzy, and Mimi. F them. They had the majority of the house this entire time, and they effed it up hard. They had it made. Now they're the fish in the barrel. I mean, oh wait, oh, he told Matt about the alliance. I didn't realize who he was talking to. Yeah, Cameron is he is out for revenge, which I'll tell you one thing that is frustrating. So many times over the years, I've had people where I'm like, I want to see them win power and get revenge, and it just never happens. Now Cameron does it. Cameron does it, and no one likes him. So, like, I'm trying to enjoy it because it's something I've wanted to see for a while, but I didn't want it to be him. But this week is certainly not going to be as boring as I thought it would be. So, we have that, don't we? All right. I am going to call it a night here. That's a Cameron HOH for you. The first time it was really lame and he didn't do anything to affect the status quo in the house. He made a move that was terrible for his game. Now he's at a point where I don't really think he can do anything to save his game. So he's at least gonna try and take someone down with him. And unless she wins the veto, I think it's gonna be Felicia. All right. That'll do it for me. Thank you to my one viewer for watching. You can follow me on Twitter at NickRhymesYT for my thoughts on all this stuff as it's going down. And I have links to my YouTube and my Twitch channel there. And I will see you next time. Peace out.